to the Most High Creator. This is about the elections and the outcome of the elections. Uh, this is all emotions aside. I am for no particular party, but the people have spoken. I want to say well done to Kamala. She put up a great fight, and her campaign was full of energy. The vice president, she pretty much came from obscurity. I think they probably had this plan and they did that on purpose just to have the element of surprise and throw Donald Trump's campaign off. Um, and she just really gave the Republican Party a run for their money. I must admit, anybody, you just have to admit now, she had him shaking in his boots. She gave him a run for his money. And congrats to Donald Trump. Congrats to him on his victory, on his win as I think it's the 47th president, and he was also the 45th. So congrats to him on that. Um, Even if you disagree with either party, there are things in either party that will help us as a whole. And on the other side, there are things that may hurt us as a whole. There's some policies on both sides that are only beneficial to a certain group of people. So there are Democratic policies that are beneficial to, or most beneficial, I should say, to a certain group of people. There are Republican policies that are most beneficial to another or separate group of people. I must say that Kamala's um, concession speech, she showed a lot of grace, elegance, and poise. And she emphasized the peaceful transition of power, which was definitely a dig at Donald Trump, because when he lost, he had a pretty much an uproar or a kicking fit. And he said that there wouldn't be a peaceful transition of power. So she was like, you know what? We're going to have a peaceful transition of power. And she said her speech just gracefully. And I admire that. Some things I didn't like about the campaign, and some things that I think that actually hurt Kamala's run, is the fact that she kind of dodged important issues, especially certain issues that were very important to a certain community and group of people that she was actually trying to reach, and she was actually trying to grab. I think that her pretty much avoiding those topics hurt her. I think she lost also because she didn't really show up for certain demographics the way that they probably needed her to. All right. Another thing that I think that hurt is the time. I think that a lot of time was probably stolen from her that could have been put into her campaign because of the time it took for Joe Biden to actually step down and to recede. I think that probably hurt, because you need as much time and energy and money coming in as possible to help you run. You know what I mean? So I think that hurt her a bit as well. I also think some of the things that hurt her campaign was some of the performers that she had at some of her events. um I think it's kind of degrading a little bit for some of the performers that she had actually representing or coming out to perform at her campaign events. I mean, everybody doesn't want to see twerking. Everybody doesn't want to see some of these people, and they don't represent everybody. Just because you have a black rapper up there rapping and twerking, that only applies to a certain demographic of that demographic. I mean, younger children may go for that, but you have older middle class African Americans or wealthy African Americans, people that are working hard out here trying to make a good name for themselves and take care of their children and just live a good, wholesome, respectable life. I mean, putting women on stage degrading themselves is probably not going to win you, their vote. So those are just some of the things that I think kind of hurt her a little bit when it came, especially to the African American vote. Donald Trump will be our next president. All the court cases, the convictions, the SA allegations, and the actual payouts that he has already made. So it's not anything I'm making up. I'm just stating facts. None of those things mattered. You know, some of the racist rhetoric that he spewed and his party spewed, none of that matters. This man has been elected president, and I don't think all of the votes have been calculated, but not only did he win enough electoral votes, he also is looking like he won the popular vote as well. So the people have spoken, and this is what they want, and this is what they like. All the other BS aside, in the shenanigans and things that he has done. So that just goes to show you that in America, it really, you know, character. People talk about character and morals and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, I mean, it really doesn't matter. People are going to want what they want. If there are certain parts of a person that they like, they're going to go for that part. It doesn't matter whatever else they're doing, you know. Or sometimes people just do it to be vindictive. Some people just go for a certain person just because they don't like the other person that much, you know what I mean? So as far as the Donald Trump campaign is concerned, I do think that adding Elon to the campaign was a major chess move. Him and the Joe Rogan friendship that he built as well was a major chess move as well. So there are some things that he pulled out at the end of his campaign that really helped catapult him to him winning this election. So with all that being said, I want to say to you all, put trust in no man. Either way, you know, you always want to stay prepared for the worst, because you never know what could happen. Do not put your trust and all of your energy into these politicians, because it is what it is, and it is what it's going to be. Some people say, you know, presidents aren't elected, they are selected, and there's definitely some truth to that. But I'm going to go back and read through these comments, but I want to know, what do you all think? What do you all think about the elections? What do you all think about Donald Trump's victory? What, you know, how do you feel about it? You know, what do you think about the outcome of the race? What do you think about the future of America? What do you think we're headed now? I can't say either way, because these parties just go back and forth. And personally, how I feel is it's two wings of the same bird. It's the same bird, y'all. But anyway, on to going back. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming in. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you spending your time with me, for listening to what I have to say. I want to get that out of the way first. So, Filthy Do. Any gifters to my girl? I'm poor. I live in a box. Watching your stream. MCD's Wi-Fi on my Nintendo DS, but the lady is about to kick me out because I don't have any food and got Filthy Do. I'm usually a giver, but I am going to have to chime out on that one because of the platform that we're on, and I just don't know. You know, it's very hard, unfortunately, to know what you're getting into when you're dealing with social media and people. But if you're truly in that situation, my heart goes out to you, and I hope that you get the help that you need. Okay. Goat DR. The men have decided in overwhelming fashion. Your body, your choice, ladies. Okay, thank you for your comment. Great. Goat DR. Oh, Filthy Do, I donate to, but I recently got hit with a crowbar. All right, sweetheart. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Hello, miss. Hello, Sashi Q Kumarkin. All right, 534. Hello, how are you? Thank you. Mississippi country boy. Good day. How are you? I'm a country girl too. Auntie, the twerking during the rallies was a big downfall. You know what? I agree with you. Yes, indeed. Joelle Sweeney. It probably hurt that they didn't have a democratic process and nobody voted for her to be the nominee. Yeah, you may have something going there. Jason H. Filthy Do, cancel your cell phone plan, sell your phone, and find work at the MCDs you're sitting in. Interesting. Well, there's a will, there's a way, Filthy Do. And unfortunately, I won't be able to help you in this case, but again, heart out to you. Mississippi Country Boy, exactly like Meg the Stallion was trash. Yeah, you know, I support my people. She's doing her thing, Mel getting the Stallion, and whoever else was out there. Was it Sexy Red or Glorilla? You know, if they're doing their thing, all for it. But you know, I just think sometimes when they're trying to get the black vote, they just go about it the wrong way, because not all black people are going for that foolishness. And I'm going to say not most of black people are not going for that foolishness and don't support that. And it's a slap in our face. It's degrading, and it makes us feel very dumbed down and like we're stupid. Okay, it's like giving us fried chicken, or it's like coming to the black church, or reaching out to the Divine Nine when you're running for office. You know, it's a slap in the face, and it's like, okay, you're not being truthful. You're not being for real. You know, Chuma Chuma, Asadiga boss or boo. Okay, and I don't know what that means, my love. Yeah, dude, is getting bad. Selling your Gucci belt because I can't quit. Okay. All right. Filthy dude, that's probably going to be the last comment I read of yours, because I don't think it has anything to do with my live. This live is about the elections and the outcome and what you think about it. So if you're on here, please go ahead and chime in, say hello. I am currently reading the comments right now. Joelle Sweeney, I don't think it mattered because it was a witch hunt. Interesting. What happened to the 12 million votes that just disappeared from last election to this one? That's a you never know. Like I said, there is a saying that says these presidents are selected and not elected. So with that being said, you just never know. You never know. All right, Joel Sweeney again. What happened? Okay, sorry. Not going to read that. Not going to read that. All right. Mahdi Karami. I don't know what all the F's stand for. If you want to elaborate, or maybe it was a pocket dial or something, just let me know. But that was just my spiel on the election, what I think about it. You know, I don't teeter or totter any other way. What is going to be best for the country, what's going to be best for the majority, is the middle class being taken care of, because they are the backbone of America. What are we doing about the homeless situation? What are we doing about these predatory lending situations? What are we doing about the children and people in general that are going hungry? What are we doing about all of our money and these, you know, going elsewhere besides staying here, taking care of the people that are actually paying the taxes? You know, those are my questions. What is being done about reparations for ADOS? What's being done about the communities that are in ruins, and the schools are in disrepair, and the schools are subpar? They're not good and or adequate places for our children to learn in. Okay, what are being done about those discrepancies? Those are things that are at the top of my mind. What's being done about what's being put in our foods and the foods that we are consuming? Fresh food. What's being done about all of the GMOs that are somehow now all legal and we can partake and consume, but at the same time they're talking about the health crisis and the weight crisis and all that stuff. But you have all of these lobbyists and people just, you know, money talks. So which one is it? You know, do you want us to be a healthier nation, or is it okay for these companies to just continue to put out what they're putting out for us to consume? Joelle Sweeney, what's your thought on the illegal immigrants in the U.S. and what do you think about Trump wanting to deport them? I do think that there should be a process to a certain degree, but my level of thinking on the deportation situation is way beyond that. It's much deeper than that, and I did a video on this. Okay, if you deport them, a lot of those people are doing the jobs that Americans don't want to do. A lot of those people are doing jobs and they're getting paid what Americans can't afford to get paid to do. You Americans, with our standard of living and our way of living and how much things cost right now, cannot go out there and work for $6, $7 an hour to do some of these jobs, to work in these fields on these crops for these farmers. And if you get rid of all of these illegal immigrants, you're going to have a void not only in the food market, because you're not going to have anybody harvesting those crops, but you're also going to have a housing crisis. You're going to have a lot of construction crisis, because those are the people building these houses and building them for pennies on the dollar. You know, a lot of these companies can't afford to pay, you know, an American citizen, you know, $30, $40 an hour. They're depending on the migrants or these immigrants. So that's one side of that animal. The other side of that animal is, so I don't think he's going to do it, first of all, because he can't, you know, because I mean, it's just not feasible. It's not going to happen. But you do have some people in there, some of these gang members in there, that probably do need to be deported because they're causing an issue. And to say more about that, I just watched a video earlier about this, and it was talking about how the immigrants in New York, the police can't really do anything about some of these camps or these shelters, because they're not under police control. You know, they don't have the authority to go into them and to do anything. So the gangs are actually taking over these shelters and they're running these shelters, you know. So that's another thing. And so my last point, and like I said, I think a little bit different about immigrants, especially the Hispanic immigrants. My thing is this: nature always wants to return itself to its natural state. Okay, these people coming from Mexico, are they really Mexicans, or are they Americans? Are they Americans? Because you have to think about the colonization and the takeover of America. New Mexico, Arizona, California, Texas, all of those states were a part of Mexico. Are these people really immigrating, or are they just coming back home and coming back over the border? You know? So that's my take on that. And that's how I'm looking at it. I look at things from a spiritual level, from a different level. And I always take myself back to asking why. Why is this happening now? Why are people coming back now? Is there a reason? And the reason is, are they immigrating, or are they technically just returning home? So that's my spiel on that. Are we not Americans then? I'm not saying that we are not Americans. If you are born here, you are technically an American. What I'm saying is, the Mexicans that are coming from Mexico, are they illegal? I mean, technically, are they illegal immigrants if they are returning back to a land that's theirs? Because again, California, Texas, New Mexico, and several other states were a part of Mexico. And when they lost those states, Mexico lost over 50% of its land mass. Yeah, so that's something to think about. It's called the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. Go and look that up. Those states were a part of Mexico. So that's how I look at that part. I know we have these new boundaries and stuff like that because it's America now, and we have laws and all of these things, but all these laws weren't always in place. Some of this land belonged to Mexico. Ain't no way around it. It belonged to Mexico. But yeah, that's my spiel. If you guys have anything else to say about the elections, what you think of the outcome, how do you think it would have went, could have went differently or anything like that, please drop it, because I am about to wrap this live up. I want to thank you all for coming in and giving me your comments so far. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. If you haven't gone and liked and subscribed my channel, I would urge you and thank you for doing so in advance. I do have a variety channel, so I talk about many, many, many different things. I'm a new mom, over 40. I'm married for the second time. We have several businesses. I'm into real estate, and tons of different things I talk about. There's something for everyone on there. So please be sure to go like and subscribe. And if there aren't any more comments, I want to thank you all for chiming in, especially you, Joelle Sweeney. Thank you. Your comments have been most meaningful. Good, great questions. I really like that. Yes, so come and tune in again. And I want to thank you all again for watching Notions at Noon. Bye-bye.